Hey everybody, Tommy coming at you from beautiful Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Volkswagen has flown me out to check out the brand new 2025 Volkswagen Jetta. This car is heavily revised over the old model, and in today's video we're going over all the changes. It's hands-on time to talk about whether or not this car stacks up to its competition. Now, the Jetta's been on sale in the US since 1980. This is the 7th generation of Jetta, which is going on 6-7 years old, but 2025 has seen a major refresh, not only with pricing, interior, but also design. This is now a much more attractive car, I think, than the one it replaces. And the price is the big news, which we'll talk about toward the end, because where every new car gets more and more expensive, that's not the case with the Jetta. You get a lot of new features and looks, but for no more money, with an asterisk. So let's talk about what this car looks like. The front end is going to be the biggest overall look change, much more aggressive. They've given this car a much thicker brow, which has squinted the headlight down and given it an angrier look. And I like the lower front end treatment as well. It's made the car look more sporty, more in line with like a Jetta GLI, which I'll have a review on shortly over at alltfl.com. And my favorite front end feature is going to be this bat wing, which starts there on the passenger side and continues all the way to the driver's side. One continuous silver streak, which on the GLI would be red. This red, by the way, absolutely gorgeous, super rich. We're almost to like the Mazda Crystal Soul metallic. It's not quite that good, but it is a stunning color. And let's talk about wheels. So what we're looking at here, new wheel designs for the Jetta. This is actually an 18-inch wheel. It is an option, but large wheel for a Jetta. I do like the design. It's a two-tone look with the silver across the black finish, and of course that new Volkswagen emblem finishing it off there in the middle. This model does have the chrome window line that extends the entire width of the vehicle. We're also going to find the optional sunroof. This guy's pretty much fully spec. So what we're looking at here is an SEL with some options. And like I said, we'll talk about price toward the end. And then the rear portion of the car is also very different. So now we have a continuous light bar that pretty much makes its way across the entire back of the vehicle with a pause down the middle for Jetta. Look, this car is looking very Audi, especially from the back. That could be an A4 or an A6 if you squint hard enough. And then they do hide the tailpipes on this SEL, whereas the GTI is going, or the GLI, excuse me, is going to have those exposed. Now let's talk about powertrains. So powertrains and mechanicals are largely unchanged for the 2025 model year, with one exception. So the Jetta, the standard car, used to be available with a 6-speed manual. That is no longer the case. It is automatic only, an 8-speed automatic, and it's only available in a front-wheel drive, which is the case for the old car as well. Come on, Micah. This is why you should always practice the hood. There we go, before going on camera. So there you go, 4-cylinder transverse, 158 horsepower, a 1.5-liter turbocharged engine. So it's got standard turbo power. Now, how does that compare to the GLI? Well, that's gonna have 228 horsepower, so quite a bump. Now, this EA211 has 184 pound-feet of torque. And if you want that manual transmission, you can still get it on the GLI. The GLI has some other differences over the standard Jetta. Now, they're both still on the MQB platform, but the standard Jetta has a torsion beam rear suspension, where it's got a multi-link rear suspension for the GLI. And there's a sport trim of the standard Jetta, which is 0.6 inches lower. All right, so there's your one last look at the exterior before we hop inside. Now, there are design changes on the inside of the Jetta, which are a little bit more slight, but do add up and actually make this, in this case, my favorite Volkswagen interior. And we'll talk about why in a second here. So the big design change is going to be over on the passenger side. Instead of just having kind of a black piece of plastic, now we have this 3-streak design, which makes it more in line with that air vent. Not a bad look at all. Let's go ahead and fire this engine up. So I got foot on the brake there. Start button is down here by the shifter. And that 1.5 is going to fire into life. Beautiful. All right, now let's talk about what makes this my favorite Volkswagen interior, and that's going to be over here, this screen. So this retains knobs, buttons, and shortcuts. They are touch-sensitive buttons, but having the ability to know where your media is, know where your nav is without having to go or futz through a screen like some other VW products is phenomenal. These little icons, they never move, and neither do the knobs. We got volume and the control knob over here, absolutely phenomenal. Now the screen, 8 inches, it's looking a little small by 2024 standards, but hey, I'll take small with knobs over big touch sensitive haptic things all day long. Same thing with the steering wheel, folks. So where that GLI had some, touch sensitive things, this SEL, it's got buttons. It's traditional, old fashioned, no nonsense buttons. That makes this my favorite Volkswagen from a usability stand-up in the entire lineup. Let's take a look at the pricing on this 1.5 SEL. So the standard car can still be had for just a tick under $22,000 before destination. This one with the King's Red metallic exterior is going to come in at $30,680, and there's the fuel economy. We're looking at 33 combined, 29 city, 40 mpg high, which I'm told is just a hint higher than the 2024 model year. But the big deal is, if you compare automatic 2025 to automatic 2024, this car's actually gotten a little bit cheaper. Let me telescope this wheel in so we get a better look at some features here. So the car hasn't really seen that big of a price bump, but it has seen some more standard features, including this dual zone automatic climate control with haptic touch sensitive things. Boo! But at least it's a dual zone system. You got a slider here for your fan. It actually works pretty well. Compared to some other VW haptic touch thing, panel things, this is not a bad one. Moving on from that 8-inch screen, you are going to find our cluster screen here, fully digital with, and this is a good time to talk about assist systems, a bunch of standard features. This is awesome. I'm really, really, really glad that Volkswagen has done this. So this car, look, we've got adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. You can select between ACC and standard cruise control, front assist as well. So all of this now incorporated on these Volkswagens. Got emergency assist on the automatic cars. You slide open the sunroof, get a sense of what that looks like. Really like the stitched door panels as well. It's just a comfortable, refined interior. I feel like it's a little higher quality and a little bit more premium than something like an Elantra or a Corolla, which is what this vehicle is definitely targeting from a size standpoint. It definitely feels nicer than something like a Nissan Sentra. Beats audio system as well. Still have a little bit too much piano black for my liking. That does have a tendency to get kind of chipped and scuffed and that kind of thing. But let's go ahead and check out the rear seat. We do have a power driver seat with 3 position memory. So I'm going to set it back to my driving position. Perfect. And let's see how the rear seat room is. All right. Actually, really good leg room. And then if we take a look at the headroom, I'm going to be really sweaty. Excuse me. Ann Arbor this time of year, pretty toasty. Headroom is okay. Does start to infringe a little bit at 6 feet tall. And then on this SEL, you might notice we do have heated rear seats, which is a very premium feature for this segment, but no climate vents and no USB-A or USB-C. So that is going to be a nick I have against the Volkswagen Jetta, because that's kind of become a standard in 2024, having the ability to charge phones in the rear. So I'm going to go ahead and click this car off, and let's go ahead and check out the trunk space, see how that compares. Now, another thing worth noting is, yes, Jetta does have a performance version, as does Civic with the SI, Elantra with the N, but there is no hybrid variant of the Jetta, so you only get that 1.5 turbo on the base cars. About 14 cubic feet worth of space. We got our seat pop there, really cavernous sized trunk. And let's see how the seat folds. Not quite flat, but folds easily and does give you more space. So look, folks, I'm impressed. A Jetta manufactured in Puebla, Mexico, still available with a manual transmission if you get the GLI, and the much cleaner, nicer, more refined design. I think that this is a winner. I really think Volkswagen did a nice job with this car. Like the new 18-inch wheels, like some of the new colors, like the Monument Gray. So be sure to head over to alltfl.com. I've got a full driving review of the GLI coming up very shortly. You're going to want to check that out. But let me know what you guys think of the Jetta in the comments section below. Would you buy this over, the Toyota or the Honda or the Mazda? I mean, it is such a competitive segment. For me, if I was looking for the most premium feeling of the category, this is where I'm at all the way. This car has the heated rear seats, got that nice leather interior. It's got this, seriously, Audi-like design now. So this is like the upscale choice in my mind. What it drives like, we're going to find out later in September when the driving embargo is lifted, and then we'll know more. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Thanks guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.